See those sneaky guys? All my problems started with them. Hello, I'm TroNic and this is part 2 of my devlog. As I said, my problem started with these skeletons, and the drawing part was the easiest. So let's start from the beginning. So I wanted a new enemy, and here he is. After finishing drawing, I realized that my enemy script, which I used on the slimes, was too basic. By basic, I mean they just go straight to a given position. They can't avoid obstacles and may cause weird bugs. The best solution is to set NavMesh, but the problem is there is no easy way to set it up on 2D project. After small researching, I find this package on GitHub called NavMesh Plus. It says that I can make 2D pathfinding using NavMesh. So I installed it and went to read the documentation. After I figured out the setup and even installing 2 NavMesh maps for different agents, I ran into one big problem. On this testing setup you can see that NavMesh is backing correctly, and I even set up 2 different maps for different agent size. The problem is that the object who need to follow me has some weird things happening with rotation, and because that the sprite didn't show up in the game scene. If I put manually the rotation at 0, you can see that the cube appears. I spent a lot of time and nerves to find what's going wrong, since I did everything according to instructions. And then accidentally found this PDF instruction. And a solution how to fix my problem. To fix this rotation thing, I only need to add 2 lines of code to my enemy script, which will disable the rotation. Finally, it's working correctly and I can implement it to my game. The best thing, now I can generate NavMesh map through the code. I decided to make some kind of world map with many islands. And I make a big mistake. For some reason I decided to separate world map and Eastland map on different scenes. It made sense in my head. I will have a scene with world map and Eastland tiles. If the player enters some of islands, he will go to the second scene with generated Eastland tile map, monsters and environment. So that if I want to add a dungeons for my islands in future, I only need to add a new scene which will handle dungeons map and monsters. Maybe even dungeons will have different deep levels. With this scene separation system I don't need to keep all objects in one scene, and get rid of the problem when I will need to somehow disable monster tile maps and different levels, because the player don't need to see the Eastland tile map with all its stuff when he is in dungeon, and I think this will be better for performance. I spent a few days trying to make it working. I draw the Eastland tile, separate all the stuff in different scenes, but my program experience didn't let me do what I want. I have so many bugs, spent so many time to fix them. And finally give up when after scene transition nothing happens, no errors, but the map didn't generate. It's easiest to fix when you have some error, without it I can't find the problem, so I switched back to make it only in one scene. Now it's all working. When I click on island, it will generate based on data and hide the world map. If I queue it from island, the island tile map and all stuff will be disabled and show the world map again. And I find another problem. I make 2 different island types, one from slimes and other with skeletons. And I find that skeletons islands make huge FPS drop, even the skeletons doesn't have any code logic yet. I make a scene only with skeletons and remove all scripts from them. The only component they have is animator. After researching I find that is a common problem with one animation. And there are 2 solutions, one to make animations without bones and other to install 2 packages. I go with the second. After installing, FPS go higher, but still lower than on slimy islands. For now I leave it as it is, the FPS drop not so high. For the last I make for skeletons a weapon and make that enemies can kill the player. Now I can fight with them. That's it for this video, a few minutes of video for you guys and 2 weeks for me. I will spend some time on graphic to make game looks better, so subscribe if you don't want to miss a new update. Thanks for watching and bye.